Hello! How's everybody doing? Christ, I cannot see anything up here. So you guys should feel sorry for me a little bit because I thought this was a pub gig. Pub gigs usually have about 5 people. I can only see about 5 people because of the lights, but if you can laugh loud, that's more than 5 people, that'd be good. If you don't want to laugh at all, that's fine as well. But as Noel said, I am from Plymouth. The delayed cheer there. Yeah, it's usually a delayed cheer. It's usually an ironic cheer, actually. Who's familiar with Plymouth? Why? Why? See, this is why I like leaving, really. I like leaving Plymouth because it's Plymouth. If you're not familiar with Plymouth, I'll just let you know what it's about. I don't mind it, really, but whenever I'm in the city centre, I'm always reminded of Katie Price. Like, the top half is quite fake. It's too big. It's constantly changing, and people tend to be interested in it as well, but they're usually morons. And then the bottom half is just ruined. It's decrepit. It stinks, to be honest. It's genuine. It's just full of dicks. Like, it's just not a pleasant place to be. I used to work at Plymouth Uni. Apparently, it's over there, according to my head. And every September, I used to get students coming up to me, just first time away from home, just a little bit scared. And they said, "So Ben, what's Plymouth like? Well, where shouldn't I go?" I was like, "Well, to be honest, you'll be all right. Just under no circumstances venture south of the sundial." Plymouth's got a sundial. It's a thing, apparently. People don't go to see it. It's just there. But I used to say it's like the elephant's graveyard from The Lion King down there. Just these husks of things which used to be magnificent, like Woolworths. And the Disney shop as well, ironically. That's gone. The place is just full of hyenas down there, like, eat! Eat! What does that even mean? They're actually really similar to hyenas, because hyenas don't have jobs or money. It's true. Basically, if you take anything from tonight, just don't go to Plymouth. Unless you really have to. Unless I'm gigging and you've enjoyed tonight, I usually gig in Plymouth. They don't like me very much down there. Don't know why. Can't figure it out. I can tell what you're all thinking. You're all looking at me. He's sexy. There we go. I don't need a woo. What I mean by sexy is tall, actually. I replace the words because I find it's better for my self-esteem. Rather than getting 7 or 8 people every day coming up to me telling me I'm tall, they're telling me I'm sexy. And it's better, you know, it makes me feel better because loads of people every day will come up to me and tell me I'm tall. I know. This isn't a shock, you know. People, they come up to me and the most common question is, how tall are you? So I tell them I'm 6'9". And the most common response to that is, fuck off. Well, why am I lying? Like, you instigated this. No, I'd say I'm 5'10", yeah. I am 6'9". And it's not like an achievement. I said 6'9", and I heard someone going, "Ooh, thank you. I tried hard." Every night, sat in my room going, "Come on!" And it worked. It worked. But the amount of people, because it's the one physical trait that people feel completely comfortable about just coming up to you and talking to you about. Like, people come up to me telling me that they know tall people. "Oh, my cousin's 6'7". Don't give a shit. Brilliant. I don't know him. This is the thing, I think most people assume all tall people know each other. And they don't. They really don't. Like, if I see another tall person in a bar or something, I'll give him that knowing nod. Not because I know him. I know he knows how shit it is being tall. Like, he's felt the pain of just walking into door frames. There goes year 4. It's all right, you don't need to know about Romans. Anyway, it's fine. But I actually want to sort of start a secret tall people's club, I think. I think it'd be great. Just invite everybody in. I'm going to call it Height Club, I think. What's the first rule of Height Club? No, it's not. It's duck. Duck. Yeah. Just duck. First rule. Yeah. Be safe. I don't really know what we do. To be honest, I'd like to form a committee and maybe raise door frames. That would be the ideal thing. But I think what would happen is we'd probably just end up playing like pub Jenga, but pretending it was normal-sized Jenga, just feeling normal for a little while. Just getting loads of big Toblerones, just pretending they were normal-sized Toblerones, and it'd feel normal for a little while. That'd be nice. Because it's really weird. Because like being 6'9" makes me legally disabled. Like I'm entitled to a disabled parking permit, and I didn't take it because I foresaw the situation where I take like the last disabled space and I get out of my car, like, albeit hunched, but that's about it. And then there's this paraplegic guy just drives past and looks at me and I'm like, yeah, tell me about it, man. It's difficult, isn't it? Being disabled. It's a ridiculous thing, it really is. Because I'm legally and medically a giant. It's funny, isn't it? I don't know who laughed at that. It's ridiculous. Yeah, legally a giant. I think when you become 6'7", you become a giant. So I was about 15. I was 6'6", turned 6'7", and overnight I became a myth. It's quite strange. That's why no one can ever remember seeing me as well. But I don't know what I'm entitled to do, really, being a giant. I just go around sacking villages. That'd be all right. It's all right. I've got the paperwork. You can't arrest me. It's completely legal. It's fine. Well, if I was a bit hungry, just grind down some bone, make some bread. What are you doing? It's fine. I'm a giant. That's what I'm supposed to do. You know, fee, fi, fo, fum and all that shit. I properly embrace it, you know. But it's just very strange. Like, I'll be in a bar with a mate and a tall girl will walk in and he'll just point at her and go, look at her there. You should get with her. Why? Breeding the master race or something. It's a really ridiculous thing. You know, like people come up to me all the time and ask me if my parents are tall. Yes. It's fucking genetics, isn't it? Of course they're tall. Like if they weren't tall, I'd be excited actually about one day this little bold chap on a wheelchair just coming up to me and going, Ben, this whole height thing, you know, it's actually a mutation. We want you to join the X-Men. Like, that would be amazing. I'd love that. But then thinking about that, I just like, what would I do as an X-Man? Like, you've got people who can regenerate and shoot lasers out their eyes. Probably just stick me in the warehouse. Just like stacking Lycra on the top shelves. Alongside a guy who can do spreadsheets with his mind. Post-it note boy. He can make paper sticky at will. Most men can do that, to be honest. But not at will. Usually takes about 10, 15 seconds. But it's unfortunate, the whole thing, because my parents didn't know I was going to be this tall, but they called me Ben. And as you can imagine, my nickname for quite a long time has been Big Ben, which is hilarious, isn't it? Thinking there was that tall tower in London. The problem is that tower isn't actually Big Ben, it's called St. Stephen's Tower. I think it was renamed to like Victoria Tower or something recently. Big Ben's the name of the giant bell in the tower. So, yeah, there you go, you put it together. So all my life, people have basically called me a giant bell, which is basically probably why I do this, just to vent a little bit, vent a bit of anger. But it's just strange. And as well as being tall, I'm actually quite heavy as well. And no one disagreeing with that. I've been heavy for a long time, but I'm not as heavy as I used to be. A couple of years ago, I lost 7 stone. Yeah, thank you. No one clapped then, which is good. You all passed. No, don't clap. Don't clap. You all passed the test. Whoever just clapped just failed. You passed the test, because if someone tells you they lost a lot of weight, don't clap or congratulate them until you find out how, because they might be seriously ill. You know, like, I lost 7 stone. Oh, well done. That's great. Yeah, I've got AIDS. It's not so good, is it? That's great. Yeah, I lost a leg. That one's a bit more obvious, really, I think. But none of that happened to me. What I did, and you can take this video actually, because a lot of people spend a lot of money trying to lose weight, and I came up with an ingenious way of losing weight. What I did was I ate less. And I exercised more as well, which was good. And I was going to tell you a little story of something which happened to me in the showers after exercising. Not like that. It wasn't anything bad. I mean, that didn't happen. If it did happen, I'm not a good enough comedian to make that funny. But this is funny what happened. So I don't know why, but in gents' changing rooms at gyms, men just decide just to walk around completely butt naked. And I've never been particularly happy with that. But like, it's the one time where there's no women around, so what's better to do than just take all your clothes off and just flaunt everything you've got, walking around naked, just like, look at this, brilliant. We've all got one, it's a men's changing room. But like, I've been a bit shortchanged down there, so I've never been particularly comfortable doing it. I'm comfortable telling a room full of people, that's fine. But, look at my life a little bit with that. But I needed a shower, so I went in there, and there's these 5 fully buff blokes, like really well endowed, just lathering up. It was almost like slow motion. I don't know why I remember it that way. But something I'm going to have to look back on, I think, later on, make some life choices. But again, I thought I'd get involved. I needed a shower. So there's me just lathering up, getting all the suds. And on the Tannoy system, the song came on. It was Nothing Compares to You by Sinead O'Connor. It's been 7 hours and 15 days since you took your love away. And there's me and 5 other lathery guys just went, and it was a very strange moment. We all kind of realised what we'd done and looked at each other and silently agreed never to tell anyone about it. Except, obviously, if it was a comedy situation, in which case it's fine. So is everyone having a good night? Yeah? Good, I'm having a good night. It was completely unexpected to what was going on, but I imagine most of you have got quite some interesting jobs. You'll kind of own caravan parks or whatever, I imagine. Do you know what I do? I walk dogs for a living. And it's fantastic. Someone just went, yeah, it's brilliant. It wasn't so good like today, because winter just came today. And I've been fucking freezing all day. And I got here thinking it was going to be a nice pub, maybe a little fire. Doors open there, and it's still really cold. Nipples just out here, it's ridiculous. That was a segue, that bit. I didn't plan on doing that at all, but, whatever. You got any couples in? Oh, wow. Love is truly dead, isn't it? Believe it or not, I have a fiancé. Thank you. Right, at least everyone is really bitter and twisted about not being in a couple. Right? I've got a fiancé. Fuck you. There we go, that's good, isn't it? And she's all right. I like her. She'll do. This is the fantastic thing, but we've kind of decided that we don't want to have children, at least not yet, not for probably about 8-9 years. The problem is my brother and sister, they both had children, and the last person not to have any children. And we've got this WhatsApp group at the moment with all my family, and my brother and sister keep putting up pictures of their children. I know they're both 3, doing stuff that 3-year-olds do, just taking a picture of it, putting it up. And I'm running out of responses. There's only so many times you can go, that's nice, without sounding sarcastic. And I've got this pressure now. My family going, Ben, when are you going to have kids? It's a really good idea. You should have kids. They're a part of you. It's something you created and something you can enjoy, be proud of. So what I've started doing is putting up pictures of sandwiches that I've made. I made that. I'm quite proud of it. It's probably top 10, to be honest. A bit of corned beef hash, sourdough as well. It's nice. And I can just get on with my life, child-free, which is glorious. And do you know what? I think I'm going to leave it there. So thanks very much, guys. Have a good evening. I'm Ben Labrick. Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear for Ben Labrick. Keep that noise going now as we welcome on one of the stars from the West Country. Make some noise for the brilliant Tom Glover.
Hello.
That's a bit too quick, wasn't it?
Hello, how are we doing, Ladron Bay? Are we well? Good, it's lovely to be here. The last time I was here, I was actually staying in a caravan. Yes, because you don't always get your first, second or third choice on a Sun £9.50 holiday. Dimitri, have you ever been on one of those? No one in the room admits to it, because you all own caravan parks, you know what kind of people they are, don't you? I'm not judging you. Some of you would have been on them, but you know people in this room, you don't admit to it. Have you been on one? No, that's fine. I've gone on these holidays myself, but it does attract a certain kind of person, the Sun £9.50 holiday. The sort of people who think it's okay to spend less on a holiday than you would on a KFC bargain bucket. And there's a reason you make them pay extra for the bedding, isn't it? There is. I mean, I hate to stereotype, but it's almost always tattooed, toothless skinheads. Sometimes with their husbands as well. Living in caravans with feral children. It's not nice, is it? But see, the only time you go to holiday camp, even the kids' club has a happy hour. But we enjoy it, we do. I live in Devon myself. I live in a little small town. I live in one of those little small towns in Devon where everyone sort of knows each other. I'm sure a few of you do as well. It's lovely, a place like that. Has its ups and downsides. It's great for building a feeling of community spirit. Not so good for online dating. Too risky in a place like that. There's nothing worse than finding out the lady you've been talking to online for 2 weeks is actually your auntie. Just one thing worse than that, finding out it's your auntie after you've sent her the dick pic. No. I mean, that was awkward, it was. Things got a bit tense for a couple of days. We almost cancelled the date. Stick with me. The other downside is if I do a gig locally, inevitably I will know people in the audience. I may even know some people in tonight. I did a gig recently and my nan and granddad came to watch me. Now I love my nan and granddad, but I don't want them coming to watch me do comedy. Like the grandparents, they're in their 70s, but they're quite cool. They like to get all the modern technology. For my birthday, we got my nan a Fitbit. Yes. His name is Raoul. He's a part of the family now. He cooks all the meals. He's brilliant. For Christmas, we got Nan an iPad. 75 years old, got herself her first iPad. That is incredible, isn't it? I mean, no idea how to use it. It's basically a 200-pound lap tray. We could have drawn an apple on a chopping board, she'd have been none the wiser. But she has got one, and now that has turned into a bonding experience for me and Nan. Now once a week, I go around to see Nan and help her with her emails. It's lovely, right? Because she tells you what to write. I type it in a box and send it off. And she gives me the money for the postage. She's not to know, is she? She's like, do we need to respond to all these emails, Tom? I said, I think we better do, Nan. This one's from a Nigerian prince, and he says he's got some money for you. So go get the winter fuel allowance. It could get expensive. But Nan and Grandad, they came to watch me at a gig. It led to my worst ever heckle experience of all time. I never saw it coming. Grandad turned up, and Grandad was wearing his party shirt. Now, Grandad's party shirt is very bright and very Hawaiian. He stood out in the crowd. Everyone was turning to look at him. I had to address it from the stage. I said, Grandad, what's the story behind this shirt? He said, the shirt, Tom, is 46 years old. It was made in 1971. It was older than anyone else in the room. Not this room. But it was. Just imagine. I said, that's incredible, Grandad. I wasn't even born in 1971. What was going down in 1971? At which point a man at the back stood up and shouted, "Your Nan!" Now that is a heckle. In my hometown, people, they know I'm a comedian, they laugh about a minute straight, and they all tend to look at me expectantly, waiting for my comeback. I had nothing. I still have nothing. I don't know what to say to that. Luckily, Nan saw the fear in my eyes. She looked at me, she gave me the nod. Then she turned to the guy at the back of the room and went, "Oi!" Not when he was wearing that shirt, I wasn't. Trying to give me a double thumbs up as if that is now all okay. It is not now all okay. I learned out a lot about my grandparents that night. For Valentine's Day, Grandad took Nan to the cinema to watch the latest 50 Shades of Grey film. Now, I don't care who you are, how fresh your relationship is, ladies, but that is going to kill the mood for you, isn't it? So that's my Nan and Grandad loudly sucking on Werther's Originals for 90 minutes. Just as your partner goes to make his move, you hear Grandad lean in and go, "Oh, that reminds me, we need to pick up some more cable ties from B&Q. And I'm just jealous. I've got young kids. When you have young kids, your sex life, it can suffer a little bit. And now I find out my grandparents have got a more active, adventurous sex life than I do myself. That is hard for me to take. I've got a 2-year-old. She turned 2 last week, actually. We had a birthday party. We had a Peppa Pig birthday party. Yes, thank you. Which I was in charge of organising the Peppa Pig birthday party, though. So what it actually was a load of 2-year-olds crying their eyes out, watching their parents eat a hog roast. She's kept me up for 2 years. It was payback time, unfortunately. I wasn't a complete monster, though. For her birthday, I got this bike seat. Goes on the back of my bike, so when I go out cycling, now she can come with me. But what I've noticed is when I go out cycling without her, people look at me, and they look at the empty bike seat, as if I've forgotten something. So now what I do, just to mess with their heads, as I cycle past them, I talk to her as if I think she's meant to be there. Honestly, even if you don't have children, get one of these seats just for this joke. Like, you find a steep hill, bomb it down the hill, as you go past people, you go, "Right, hold on tight, there's another big bump coming up." See the fear in their eyes. But when you have kids, your love life can suffer a bit. I was speaking to a friend of mine about this. He said, what you need to do is spice things up in the bedroom. He said, have you tried dressing up in the bedroom? I said, of course we have. He said, what as, like a sexy nurse or a French maid? I went, no. But it's started to get slightly colder in the nights now. So when my partner comes to bed, she dresses like someone who's just exceeded their baggage allowance on a Ryanair flight. Because I don't know what it is about you ladies, but all of you, as soon as the temperature drops just a couple of degrees, you are wearing all of your clothes to bed, aren't you? Not just pyjamas anymore, we're talking coats, hot water bottles, shoes sometimes, it's too much. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, have a panic attack, I've fallen asleep in the middle of a jumble sale. My partner could get up and leave me in the middle of the night, wouldn't even have to pack a bag. That's how many clothes she's wearing. And men don't do this. Men, when they're about 15, they decide what they wear to bed and they stick with it for life, don't they? If we're cold, we stay under the covers. If we're hot, we stick a leg out. That is all we do. That is our temperature control right there. If we get really hot, we'll turn the pillow over to the cold side, but that's as far as we go. It is. My partner's wearing so many clothes, she's essentially turned herself into a human version of Pass the Parcel. By which I mean I have to take off lots of layers to get to the prize. Yeah. Not that I put some music on, invite all my friends rounds. Not that. So give me a cheer if you got kids. 4 people. And listen how sad they are. Well, I didn't realise this. My partner, she went 2 weeks overdue with our little girl. And when you go overdue in pregnancy, suddenly everyone in your life becomes an expert on how to induce the labour early. It's the same 2 tips every time. Number 1, sex. Number 2, curry. That's right. There's a lady there who's lived the dream, isn't there? But the trouble is when you're pregnant, your tastes change, don't they? My partner said the very idea of that makes her feel physically sick. And she doesn't like curry either. So I went online, I did my research, there's one other thing that will help. That one thing is pineapple. And she was craving pineapple at the time, so we went for it big style. By the end of her pregnancy, she was eating up to 3 pineapples a day, which is too many pineapples, especially when I have to go to my local corner shop every morning and buy all of their pineapples. I live in a small town where rumours spread quickly. Now people think either I'm secretly home brewing my own lilt, or I've set up a Caribbean-themed skitter alley. And people with children will tell you the day your child is born is the best day of your life. Don't listen to them, they're lying to you, okay? It's a very stressful day. There's a lot of tears, a lot of tantrums, a lot of drugs. She wasn't happy about it either. It was terrible. It's an amazing moment. The moment your child arrives into the world for the first time, you probably can't beat that. But best day of your life, I mean, call me an optimist. The best day of my life probably won't begin with 6 hours of me crouched down by the side of a birthing pool with a net in my hands, ready to catch any stray poos. Now, I enjoy fishing as much as the next man. But that is a smelly game of hook a duck that nobody wants to win, is it? It's my life. It's good to be here. It's good to be doing comedy. I've had some crap jobs before I did comedy. I used to be a postman. Any postman in? Of course there isn't. When I was a postman, my worst heckle of all time hasn't actually happened at a comedy gig. It happened to my post round, because I never saw it coming, right? I was out on my delivery one day, and then I was just walking down the road, and I saw this young boy walking towards me with his mum. And as he gets close, the little boy points at me. He goes, "Mummy, what's that man doing?" His mum said, "He's a postman. He's doing people's letters. That's his job." And the little boy said, "Why?" And then his mum said, "Because that's what happens. You don't try very hard at school." Now, she's right, to be fair to her, but you shouldn't say that. It's rude. I want to say, "Hang on a minute, love. There's 3 of us here. Only one of us doesn't know what a postman is." Perhaps he's not going to be the high flyer you thought he was going to be. No, I didn't say that. I'm polite. She just gave me a smug look. She walked into her house across the street. Luckily, on this occasion, though, I did have the last laugh, because, well, a couple of weeks later, that little boy's birthday. 40 quid up and an Action Man, Ladron Bay. Come on. I mean, a lot of you are looking at me and judging me, but remember, 40 quid for me, that's 4 holidays with change. And guys, you've been wonderful. I've been Tom Glover. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you. Good night.